What's going on, guys? Big Jim here. Sharp Obsession. We got a trade in today, and this is a Nottingham Tactical US small batch production from Nottingham Tactical. This is called the Ultra 4. Now this one came with the trade with a steel flame clip. Really nice polished stonewash blade and a stonewash titanium finish. So really cool looking knife. I love the clip. Kind of cool that it all come in a package already ready to go. Action on this one's a little suspect, so I'm gonna take it apart, clean it, kind of see what we got. May order some bearings for it. Or washers. I'm not sure if this is a bearing knife or a washer knife, so we're gonna take it apart and kind of see where we land with that. So 1 second while I prepare and we'll get going. Alright, I did change my mat. I have one that I use kind of for show, and then I got one that I don't mind to get a little bit dirty. So this is my actual breakdown mat. It's got some grime on it, so but all right, let's start to break this thing down. So looks like pretty good size pivots on this one, so let's see what we got in there. See, this is a T8, as you can see. You can see that. Alright, looks like T8 on these screws, and I'm going to say T6s on let's see. Screws go all the way through the titanium on this side, so really cool. I like that a lot. Feels like more of a almost a custom. Let's see, is that a T10 pivot? And I don't think it is, but I did drop my stuff on the floor, so give me 1 second. Alright guys, let's see. That's a T15. I can show that. And these are Weehaw. I like my Weehaw bits. Appears to be a T15. So, not tore this knife down before. It's a frame lock, titanium construction, so shouldn't be too difficult. Looks like it's got some standoffs. And that came out fairly easy. And that one as well. Standoffs are coming out. That's the front one. Switch to the T15. See if we can break these pivots loose. Oh yeah. Not bad. It's got a lot of gook in there, so we'll have to certainly clean it up nice. Okay. This is a bearing knife, as you can see. I'm going to guess that it being small batch American, that this is likely 3/16 inch pivot. So let's give it a check. Yeah. Take that pin out. Or not. Yeah, 3/16. And thickness of these are, won't go on the 3/64, so 3/16, 1/16. And looks like they are milled, so we can't use a bigger version. So let's pull all the pieces out. Sometimes it gets a little difficult to get these out if they seated nice. Let's see what I got. It always pays to have a lot of little piddly tools. Okay, it's got quite a bit of oil and grease in there, so let's get that cleaned up real quick. I keep a bottle of alcohol and some fresh rags just for this reason. And we clean up everything. It's pretty dry in here. I thought it would be a lot of goop, but does not appear to be the case. There's a little bit in the pivot, for which we'll get it out. If you can see in there. Let's see if I can get my got some Q-tips on a stick. Q-tips on a stick. So get us one of those Q-tips on a stick. Put a little alcohol on it. And find my pivot again. And then I want to see. If I can clean it out a little bit. Yeah, I got some out of it. Okay. I'll take my actual pivot screw and run it around in my rag. Clean it up nice. Okay, everything else looks pretty good. Little tip, if you got a coarse rag, it's not the best idea to take that coarse rag and clean your bearings. So get you a really fine chamois cloth and clean your bearings and roll them around with it, because if not, the fibers may get caught up in those bearings and will not roll nice, and you'll have to clean them and clean them and clean them. So a little bit of a tip there for you. Hopefully we get the action better. It was pretty stiff and a little bit gritty, so we'll just clean everything good, and really need to tune it a little bit too. Okay, now that we've got everything clean, we'll inspect it a little bit. Looks like there's a good bearing track in the titanium. We do have, this is a non-steel lock bar insert knife. This is just a carbonized titanium lock face on this one, and a lot of small batch production, McNeese I think does this, maybe Hinder, I think there's quite a few that does it this way. They just carbonize the lock face, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. It's not quite as durable as a steel insert, but that's okay. Alright, now let's put some oil back to the bearings. And I like to take a little oil, put it on my finger, and then not drop it, and roll it around. Bearing feels good. Okay. Take the second one, kind of roll it around, make sure everything feels good. Of course, if it don't feel good, if it feels like there's one stuck or something going on there, may want to replace the bearings, which I'll likely order a set of bearings. I don't have any 3/16 quarter bearings, or 3/16, I'm sorry, 1/16 bearings right at the moment. Okay, let's see. This was a little tight going in. It is a non-captive system. So put our lubed bearing back in there. And get our lightweight KPL for our detent track. And you don't put very much on this, just a small little drop. That detent track don't take very much at all. Okay, and it goes on here. This has an internal stop pin, which is nice. I like that. My second bearing in. Now, standoffs. This might be tricky, so let's see. Okay, let's put our screws in, and then our standoff. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get me a little piece of tape. Hold those screws in for me. Because when I flip that over, I don't want my screws and my standoffs to go flying. So a little bit of preparation goes a long way. Okay, let's see here. Just tape that to where they don't come out. Standoffs on. Okay. Let's see. All right. Do not do that. Now, see if we can put it back together without totally messing it up. And this bit driver is awesome. If you don't have one of these, if you've not watched my other videos, highly recommend off-grid knives. It's not the smoothest, but I think it's like 25 bucks. And love how it holds the bits in. So you can put your different sizes in there. And it's a chunky boy, so feels good in the hand. And I wouldn't recommend spinning this all the way down yet. We're just going to make sure our centering is good, make sure action can be corrected, and make sure everything goes back nicely before we Loctite everything in and see what all happens there. Okay, it's pretty tight there. Action is definitely better. Considering is looks pretty good, maybe a little bit. So let's see. Tighten it up a little hair there. And that looks right down Main Street to me. Yep, very nice. Okay. So, going to finish tightening up the body screws, not to over tighten, as they are just screwed into titanium and you can strip them. Don't recommend that at all, because you strip that titanium and the old saying goes, you're not in good shape. Alright, let's get us a little bit of Loctite. Let's see here, a little bit. And this is non-captive, so let's see if I can just take these off one at a time and do both sides. And you don't need a ton on there. I got probably too much. Make sure it's in those threads nicely, like so. I think I see a little goo. Let's clean that off. Stuff like that can really hinder you making this knife tune well. So now blue Loctite usually takes somewhere between 14, 16, 18 hours. I always try to leave it on there a day before I really start putting some pressure on the pivots and not worried about them. If you really are not wanting to take it back apart, I have seen people use super glue. Again, not something I recommend. Apparently I didn't clean this very good. So okay, so let's put it back together. Do not strip these. Okay, because once you get them right, still might be a little tight. No blade play, no lock rock. Looks like lockup is decent. Okay. Way better. Couple of shake shuts. Always when you adjust that pivot, make sure there ain't no rock lock, and make sure that you got good clearances on everything before you get real confident with it. But feels real nice. I am going to order a set of skiff bearings for this, just because I like to put skiffs and everything, so. But very nice. Lockup is good. All right. Not too bad. Pretty straightforward. Thank goodness for no real surprises there. But if you like the content, please like and subscribe. I like to do teardowns. I like to make the action good on my knives, and I like to make sure that we're keeping everything good and clean, and that is part of what I do here. I probably will end up putting a nice edge on this, but it looks really good, and you have to be real careful on making sure you don't ruin a very expensive knife. So if you can see that, she is raring to go now. So cool steel flame clip on there, Crusader, I think he called it. So very cool. All right, thank you all for, if you watch it all the way to the end, then thank you for watching. If you like and subscribe for more content, and have a great day, and God bless.